Hello, it's Matthew Patrick Torres, and this is Court Jester's podcast. And if you notice something different, it's because we're on the street because Wrigleyville is so packed that there's nowhere to park.
Also, this might be different. Hey, I'm Brad Rickert, but I got a dog shit bag on my hand. So that might be different too.
Yeah, he was asking me what these are. I was like,
they're for dog shit. And I'll tell you what, they're cute and they're beautiful. And they don't even smell like shit yet. So,
how you been, Brad?
I've been wrestling my demons. I've been good. How you been doing, Matthew?
Pretty good, man. I kind of feel an empty space with basketball season.
Yeah, the season has ended. We have created a lifestyle where we are ready for the games, but the games are no more. What do we do? Well, I'll tell you what. Don't worry about it because free agency is here. We had the NBA draft recently. We had the NBA awards. The NBA season's pretty much a year-long endeavor at this point. I guess we can start with the chronologically. I guess the
that's a train.
Choo choo. I guess we can start with the last thing that happened after our last podcast, and that was Zion got drafted number 1.
Oh, that's awesome.
The draft happened. A few surprises, but like for the most part, nothing too crazy with the main people that we give a fuck about. Zion, obviously, is going to be this transcendent player, in my opinion. What do you think about his potential and where you think his career is going to end up?
If he doesn't get hurt, he's definitely going to be some type of all-star. I don't think next year is definitely not his year. I feel like a lot of people are just thinking he's going to be like this huge fix, and he's still just a young kid, you know, who's going to have to do growing and learning. The only way he would have been such a huge factor is if he would have went with a gigantic like superstar from the get-go, but
yeah, I mean,
like if he was with LeBron or something, maybe.
So you think that that our expectation should be about that he'll be an all-star, but you don't expect to see anything major for the next few years?
No, like maybe in 2 or 3 years.
Okay, so what
do you
think his stat line might look like this year then? I'm thinking he's gonna like average well over 20 points, probably like 22 to 25. And then be around like 7-8 rebounds, and then probably 4 or 5 assists. I think he's going to be a really complete player, play both sides of the court. I don't know. I think you have a good point about his injuries and how he needs to maintain his health, because he is like a very big, strong guy. Yeah. So I mean, we saw him bust out of a shoe, so he puts a lot of force on his body. But hopefully he gets in the right system there in New Orleans, and they take care of him and kind of preserve that. But I definitely expect to see him be an all-star in his first season, which LeBron was not an all-star in his first season. A lot of great players, it takes them a couple seasons before they latch on. I think he's going to be there at 19. I think he's ready for it, even in a West like that. I think he's going to get voted in as a starter because he's going to come out hot, and the fans are ready for him.
Yeah, that, and I mean, he's going to be almost the best player on his team, so...
yeah, I mean, what do you think? Drew Holiday might be better initially, or
initially, like
Randolph.
I mean, like
Randolph,
it's always
Randall,
even like
Randall.
These best players from college. It's a transitional period, you know. You go from like being the best to like he's not going to be the best next year, you know.
Yeah, I think his body's so ready, you know, and I think he's. I mean, like usually it's like a skinny kid coming into the league. You know, this guy's like he's ready to beat the shit out of anyone right now.
But a lot of times, like that happens, like Carmelo Anthony, you know, gets kind of lazy and stuff. It's like.
You think he's gonna be lazy like Carmelo Anthony?
Maybe, you know, Carmelo Anthony was awesome coming in. Everyone thought
it's a bunch of dog shit.
His youth was like most of like his talent, and then he's. Is that your dog shit alert?
Dog shit alert.
So you try to pick me up.
Oh, you're Dookie.
Then
Ooh, you're Dookie. You're Dookie, man. You're Dookie.
That's a used one.
Oh God. I thought it was cake. Anywho.
Oh man, this is the summertime podcast. The summertime. I mean, we're gonna miss this podcast when the winter comes. The summertime podcast.
Sitting in the car, soaking up the sun.
Yeah, we're like those dogs that you see in the grocery store with bad owners. Summertime. I can feel my legs sweating.
Was there anything else from the draft you gave a shit about? RJ Barrett to New York's pretty interesting.
I mean, who's that weirdo the Chicago Bulls got?
Kobe White from North Carolina. He is ready for recreational marijuana in Illinois. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like
his hair's cool.
He looks very cool. He looks like a chill guy. I would love to have him be like maybe my barber or my music producer. I don't know about point guard. We'll see. He does look very fast, but
or my music producer.
I don't know, man. I'm not super stoked on that pick. I don't think they need a bunch more guards. I think the Bulls need to maybe draft a new general manager. I don't think that's how that works.
Gar picks. I feel like we set the bar so low that like if we barely make the playoffs, we'll be pretty excited. Like
you said 45 wins. I said 32.
I mean, I think we're gonna make the playoffs.
I think
45 wins. I think if I did say that, it's still a tall order.
I think that's pretty fucking insane. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Are you sure I didn't say 42? But 45 is rough.
Still, even though I like their players, some of them.
Let's not forget about Cameron Payne. The D-League.
The House of Pain.
But you gotta think about it from Cameron Payne's point of view. So, like...
Oh, my God.
Think about all the D-League players that never get to play in the NBA. He keeps, like, gotta go, guys. Time for the big show.
I mean, he's king of the D.
Yeah, he's a...
Or the G? Is it the D or the G League now? I don't even fucking know.
I don't know. The Windy City Bulls.
Right. Oh, yeah, we should go try out for them soon.
Yeah, I mean, if we could record it, that'd be great.
That would be miraculous, honestly. Okay, so probably the biggest thing that's going to happen soon. Oh, no, let's not get there yet. We'll talk about free agency in a little bit. Did you watch the NBA awards hosted by Shaquille O'Neal?
No, but I did see, Shaq was throwing a bunch of shade at Harden.
Yeah, Shaq was an awful host, but there were some good moments. It was like so bad it was good.
Welcome to the awards, everybody.
He had no fluidity to anything he was doing. He danced very well for a couple seconds, and he had a couple decent jokes. I thought Hassan Minaj actually had a really good portion of the show where he really roasted Harden and a few other people. Shaq, I think, got Lonzo Ball probably the best, but it was whatever. I don't know if that's really a necessary award show.
Shaq's so famous, where he's at one of those famous levels of famous and successful, that he doesn't give a shit.
Oh no, definitely not. Yeah, he's so fucking rich.
He's just he did Icy Hot commercial after that.
Yeah,
I said to relax the plane hot to leave it away.
Yeah, he kind of has like a monopoly on entertainment. Like he's got like a 1% stake in everything.
General
he's on like 20
insurance,
fucking commercials. That Ring shit.
KFC.
Tough acting, acting.
Yeah, he did KFC too, I think.
He did KFC.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's a bunch. He has a bunch of like one-off ads. They make fun of him about it all the time.
I remember his Crunch Bar commercials.
And he has all those hit movies. A lot of people don't know this, but Shaq has a platinum record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs off that was Biological. There was a song about his biological father, and it is moving and hilarious.
Is it good? Is it good or is it negative?
It's just him saying my dad didn't care, and you know what? Fuck him.
I don't miss my dad. My dad don't.
Oh man, I'm gonna fuck it up. But it was something like biological. It didn't matter or something like that. I don't know. It was awful. We're making friends out here.
Yeah, there's people over here fighting. Wrigley.
Oh, it's a knife fight. I like it.
Oh, that guy has white pants on.
Oh, man, that's a ballsy move when you're on the second day of your period. Red, white, and blue.
Yikes.
God bless America. Speaking of America, next week starts July. That's going to be the 4th of July, and that's also going to start free agency. A lot of free agency moves are going to go around.
Kevin Durant didn't take his max deal and
declined. The Warriors said, I don't need it.
Who else did that? Kawhi Leonard did that too, right?
Yeah, he did. Well,
but all of those could be like bargaining tools.
Well, yeah. I think rumor is right now that Kevin Durant's pretty mad at the Warriors for how they treated his injury that I also said was an Achilles injury originally.
By how they treated it? How so? So he shouldn't have played?
Yeah, they rushed him. Andre Iguodala said in a Breakfast Club interview this week
I saw that.
The Warriors kind of have created a culture where they're not completely honest and open with the public about what the injuries are, and therefore they're not open with the team as well. And they get a lot of pressure from people when you come in back. You get pushed a little bit when, like, really, they should just be out because they're not going to be playing. But when they leave this mystery in the air, it kind of puts this pressure on these players to perform by the media and the fans and their teammates. That is kind of an unfair environment for the teams to create. I think Kevin Durant probably is pissed at the medical staff. I would be too. He's in his prime. He was the best player on the planet, and he had no business playing in Game 5 of the finals. I don't know what ultimately he does. I could see him staying with the Warriors, or I could see him moving. It looks like the Nets are a big possibility. Vegas favorites right now. Him and Kyrie team up over there. But I don't know if Kevin Durant's ever going to be the player he was, and he'll be lucky to be a 20-point player in the future, I think. And, you know, that's just the severity of his injury. He's going to be out for a year, and when he comes back, he'll be 33 years old, and there's not many players that perform at that level at that point. And I know he's an all-time great, but, you know, he's going to have a lot of protection, and I don't know if...
he's done.
I don't know if he's done, but I think he can add to his stats already. But I think we've seen the majority of his best days, and that's kind of unfortunate. But until I see otherwise, I don't really know how someone's going to come back from an injury like that.
Yeah, it was nasty too. Like the more you see it, learn about it and stuff. He shouldn't have played. It's crazy.
Definitely not. And I think we will see Clay next year. I think we'll see him with the Warriors. I think he'll re-sign there.
Or they're like basketball geniuses, because like obviously they have to know a little bit more about basketball than us, like the coaches and stuff. And like Kevin Durant was like, they figured out that was their last chance to win. And they're just like,
yeah,
fuck
no,
them.
I mean, definitely the Warriors. It makes sense for them to push. I mean, I think the Warriors aren't happy that he got hurt like that. I definitely know they're not happy Clay got hurt like that. But you know, if you look at the upside of what could happen and don't look at the downside of what could happen, you're not being realistic, and you're kind of putting your guys in a bad position. But yeah, they probably had no fucking chance without KD. I mean, even with Klay Thompson in that series, because he played the majority of the series, the Raptors had him beat. And, you know, I think we're done seeing the Warriors at that powerhouse level unless they have another big signing. We'll see what happens with DeMarcus Cousins, too, in that situation. I think the more interesting players...
I like DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, me too. I like him a lot. I hope he can get back to a good level, and I hope he can have a good year next year and then get another big contract before it's all over for him. But yeah, he'll probably have to sign another one-year deal next year, or a 1-and-1 with the team having the option, as opposed to him having the option, because he's just too much of a question mark at this point.
Man, boy, did he get to the party late.
Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, he had some rough years and some rough places, but you know, he's a big guy. He's a talented guy. He never was like jumping out of the gym or
How
anything
old is
like
he?
that. I believe he's right around 30. I want to say.
A couple of years left in him
Yeah,
that are good,
definitely.
that are high quality years.
I mean, his injuries that he sustained in the playoffs were not as serious as the one he had last year, so hopefully he can just get super better this summer and see where he ends up as a player in the future. I think there's still opportunity for him to be a 20-10 guy in the league and have an impact on a good team. I think more of the free agents that are going to be making like big splashes and affecting what happens with everyone else is Kawhi Leonard and Kyrie Irving. I don't know what to expect from Kawhi, and I think that's kind of his thing, right? Like he doesn't want us to know. I would probably suspect. I can't speak for Kawhi because he doesn't really let us into his personality. But something tells me he might sign a 1-and-1 with the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, he has a chance to win again, I think.
I think they have a team that can get through the East again. I don't think the Bucks are ready. I don't think the Sixers are ready. And plus, who knows who's coming back with them.
Yeah, because Butler might go to Houston,
or he might go to the Clippers or the Lakers. I mean, there's a lot of... Or the Knicks. I mean, like, Butler is a big piece of this as well. But if I was Kawhi, I would do one more year on the Raptors and give himself a chance to do some other shit. But in a league that has been clearly decimated by injuries this past calendar year, and that's affected the outcome of everything between Durant and Kawhi resting and taking the year off in San Antonio, and LeBron not making the playoffs because of his injury, that Supermax contract might be something that Kawhi really needs to consider for his future, because, you know, he could get injured. You know what I mean? But I think if he trusts his body and he trusts himself and he trusts the Raptors to take care of him, I think he might sign that 1-and-1 and
then get them
them
super
another
contract
shot
the next year.
Yeah, see what happens from there, because he's going to have the max pretty much whatever happens, as long as he doesn't get injured whenever he wants it.
What was his injury he had before?
Do you remember the Warriors game 1 of the 2017 Western Conference Finals, when Jaja put his leg underneath him and he fucked up his ankle?
And some people thought he did it on purpose or something.
Yeah, well, he did do it on purpose. I mean, it was they put in a rule after that, where you couldn't put your leg under someone and it was like a flagrant foul and you could get fined or suspended depending on the severity and the injuries and all that stuff. So yeah, he had a rough year after that. The Spurs tried to push him, but he said fuck you guys. And I mean, I kind of, from what's coming out based on this Kevin Durant shit and then the Kawhi shit, is that like the league does have a lot of problems with team doctors only acting in the interest of the team as opposed to the players, and to the point where they'll commit malpractice, you know, to like make sure that the team gets the outcome they want, which is to get their best players on the floor more often than not. But yeah, I don't really know.
I think this upcoming year is going to be more exciting than this year, because this year was kind of exciting to me, I think.
Yeah, well, the Warriors kind of came in and blew up the league.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh, you can do it like that. You can put all the best players on the same team. You can play that fast. You can shoot that many threes. And the league is catching up now, you know? So,
because Houston's going to be close to a super team with
Houston
Butler.
will be close to a super team. The Lakers will be a super team.
The Lakers will be a super team, yeah.
The Sixers are kind of a super team, depending on who they bring in as well.
The Chicago Bulls are always a super team in my heart.
A super pathetic team.
Damn.
Damn.
I don't have any good comeback to that.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I mean, I just think everyone's caught up with the Warriors and they've kind of aged out. So we'll see what happens. It is going to be a super interesting year. What do you think about Giannis getting his MVP, by the way?
I mean, that's dope. Like,
great speech.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought they would have gave it to him, actually. And but by definition, he is the most valuable player to his team. And then,
more so than James Harden.
Yes, because of Chris Paul. Like, I think without him, the Bucks would have been nothing, really.
Yeah, they did have the best record in the league. I kind of was going back and forth between Harden and Giannis, but just based on the impact Giannis has on both ends of the court, his rebounding ability, and the fact that he got his team to the #1 seed and the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, he was only 2 games away from the finals himself, and who knows, they might have beat the Warriors too. I mean,
by definition, he deserved it.
Yeah, he had a great year. I thought his speech was really great, really touching. Yeah, congrats to Giannis.
Yeah, like if somehow Golden State pulled it out their ass, maybe Curry would have got some like changed opinion about him, but.
Yeah, so yeah, you know what? I always say fuck Steph Curry, and I almost said it right there, but I bit my tongue. You know why? Because he's been a good loser. And you know what? He's the only one still standing in Golden State, so shout out to Steph Curry.
Which also brings us to our backcourt violation.
Oh, God.
Steph Curry's wife, my longtime enemy, Ayesha Curry, for no reason at all, nobody asked her. She said she had a bunch of nudes out there. You saw that?
I saw it because you sent me the article.
She said she has a bunch of nudes and she just doesn't want to get hacked. Doesn't that sound like she wants someone to hack her?
What was the context? Do you know?
Because since they don't see each other a lot, she sends...
No. Where did she say this at?
She said it like on some interview show where they were like basically just talking like how do they handle being away from each other on the road so long.
Right.
And then she said... lots of nudes, and then she hopes she never gets hacked because she says she has sent him hundreds of nudes.
Yep. That's thank you for the details.
I can't wait to see an Ayesha Curry.
Speak your truth, and you know.
Is that desirable
you are
to you?
The energy you put out. Ayesha Curry nudes.
Is that desirable to you?
With respect to
Steve Kerr,
to everyone.
The cooking channel, Twitter.
Honestly, not really. I'm not really a celebrity nude guy.
I am, but it has to be like. See, the weird part for me is it's not really like sexual that much. It just has to be like someone I like kind of like them as a person.
Oh.
So like, I mean, I'm not gonna name names, but like when I find out like badass cool women are like, I got a perfect example.
Like Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
No, what's that guy who had a sex tape? He's Colin Farrell. He's a guy, but I was just like, I glanced at the tape on a porno site, pornography type. So like, it's more of like it's more of the allure that there's this like a person, I guess.
Wow.
Because like Kim Kardashian is super hot, but I don't really care about her sex tape.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
But like, let me get a good example. I mean, I saw it though, but I didn't miss anything. Like a good example would be like Hillary Clinton. If Hillary Clinton had a sex tape, I mean, she's a much older woman. We obviously don't care, but we'd have to glance. It's Hillary Clinton.
Who's to say there's not?
Bill, I got a little video for give me a little lefty.
What the fuck?
Because you're in the car and a lefties or OTPHJ.
Oh.
You ever got one of those?
A what?
An OTPHJ?
Well, I'm dyslexic, so I assume you asked if I've ever had a smoothie.
It's an over-the-pants hand job.
Oh. Yeah, back in church. No, just JKing. Over-the-pants hand job. Yeah, probably, yeah.
I think I've given myself an OTPHJ. This backcourt violation is brought to you in part by Old Navy cargo shorts.
They're perfect for jacking in public. And...
Get your jacks at a low price.
Anyway,
I hope our parents don't watch this episode.
My parents have never watched anything I've done.
Oh, really?
Even when I said, "Hey, look, I'm gonna jump in the pool," they looked away.
Hey, look, Dad.
We'll never look at you jump in the pool.
My dad abandoned me as a child.
Well, that makes sense. Anywho, what do you think about a shortened season for the NBA?
Oh man, I actually have a bet with my friend what
is it?
He bet that. So this is crazy because I'm gonna win. He bet by the 2020 season, which is not this season, the beginning of the 2020 season.
Okay.
He bet me this like 3 or 4 years ago that they're gonna have like a different amount of games, whichever way or however they lengthen it or schedule them. It's gonna be a different. It's gonna be different from. That's our bet is that it's gonna be different from now, and I think he's assuming shorter.
Yeah, well, yeah, they are exploring a shorter season with a mid-season tournament, and I think you made the perfect bet because they're exploring it for 21-22.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
So you could get your
We bet a crazy amount, too, hundreds of dollars.
That's ridiculous.
I have the screenshot. I mean, he's really good at, like, predicting things. He's really into, like, sport, like, all kinds of sports, but I think I just got him on this one that he might have jumped the gun.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for them to do a shorter season, but here's why it does not make sense.
It will run all the records.
Well, yeah, so that would be the OG perspective. I heard Scottie Pippen say that on The Jump the other day, and that makes sense because how do you compare all-time points to someone playing a 50-something game season as opposed to someone that played 82 game seasons? And you're right, it does become very different, and maybe you have to adjust, or I don't know how that works, but...
The players will be sick, though, too, because they're always being great, like, healthy.
That's the point, because they want their stars to play, and Kawhi Leonard kind of like showed us the blueprint of how many games you should probably play as a superstar to amp up for the season, right? Yeah. And he played like what? He missed like 20 games last year or so.
Yeah. The tickets would cost more.
So yeah, the money is the problem, right? And the TV deals, because the TV deals are kind of what have fueled this new resurgence of cash in the NBA, to where these NBA players are becoming this powerful. And these TV deals are dependent on the fact that they get so many games a year. And if you get rid of these games, you know, you can't really do that. But the question becomes, can they make that revenue up by these mid-season tournaments bringing in more revenue and making everyone a little more interested in the rest of the games? And I think the answer is eventually. But it's going to take a while, and there's going to be a lot of resistance because they're talking about a 58-game season, which would be 24 less games, which is like a third of whatever, so everyone gets a home and home with each other.
I want things to stay the same, but I'm like a little old-fashioned.
Yeah,
when it comes to that.
I mean, I don't really care once we get there, but I think it is going to be tricky to figure it out. I just want to be watching a lot of great basketball, and if that means, you know, you take out a few games and there's less bullshit basketball, and you know, during the regular season you don't catch all your team's games because there's 82 of them or whatever. As long as there's games on every night that people are interested in, I think that's where the money's going to lie at. But we got to talk these owners into it, because that's less money for the venue, that's less money for the people that work there, that's less money for everyone involved. And they got to figure out how to make that work number-wise, especially with the players kind of like looking forward to these inflated caps, you know, that are coming in the next few years as well, and have kind of created these crazy contracts. Otherwise, it's going to be nearly impossible to pull off.
I mean, I don't know. I still don't have a good like care for it. I mean, I don't have a really good reason except for the fact that I want it to stay the same. Is that like an old man thing of me? Because then I just feel
for
like,
the records?
Yeah, I just won't appreciate it as much. Because then somebody would be like, "Oh man, they're the first team to win 50 games in a 54 season or whatever," and I'll be like that guy at the bar, I'll be like,
Yeah, well, I think the point would be, and I understand your perspective.
If he even had a flawless record, it wouldn't mean the same.
Like if you kept winning championships or whatever, it'd be
no, I mean like, so say how many games? 54.
Mm-hmm.
Say if you won 52 of those games,
and you only lost 2, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's super impressive.
It's
but
still
people
not
wouldn't be
73
impressed.
and 9,
Yeah, exactly.
or 72-10 with the Bulls, and then winning the finals. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of that. I think it would just be a new era, which I feel like we're already kind of in to some extent anyway. So I mean, some things are going to change eventually. I think it's just a matter of
everything
when
changes
and how and how much differently it's going to be approached. I do like the idea of a mid-season tournament, though. I like the idea of people giving a shit in December, January, February, because a lot of the time, people are just waiting for the All-Star break and then making moves from there. But yeah, I don't know. I fuck with the idea, but I don't think there's an easy way to get there, I guess would be my thought.
I want everything to stay the same always. If I could do my life like that, I would do it. I would always be the same age.
What age would that be?
Oh, if I could be always the same age, 28 maybe.
Ooh, I'm gonna be 28 next year.
Yeah, I mean,
or this year,
I'm not too much older than you, but if you ask most people who made it to their 30s, I mean, not that you've got a huge decline, but 28 is you kind of plateau for a while. So I've always felt the same like strength and bounce back and stuff since 28, but then you could feel that next is the decline.
I'm still getting them W's.
You should get a big W tattoo
for George
W. Bush.
My favorite artist of all time, least favorite president. Well, fifth least favorite.
fifth. Jesus.
His dad was worse. The president of my condo association. Total dick.
The president of the Chicago Bulls.
The president of the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, that's true too. The president of his poop bag. I love the poop bag. Man, it's great for a callback.
Yeah, poop bags.
This portion of the podcast is brought to you by Poop Bag. It's a bag for your fucking poop.
Are you tired of picking up poop with your bare hands and then putting it in your pocket?
Ugh, it's all in my fingernails.
Well, we have something to combat that.
It's a poop bag. You fucking grab that piece of fucking shit and you wrap it up like that, and then you got a fucking poop bag. And then you grab it and you beat your friend over the head with that fucking poop.
Court Jester Podcast, brought to you by Poop Bags.
Anyway, okay, I got one more thing for you before we roll bounce like Bow Wow, and that is this. The season is over, and we're kind of doing a little more chilling than we are talking hoops. I gotta ask, what is your favorite basketball movie of all time?
Ooh, my favorite basketball movie. It's not a popular one. I mean, it's popular, but a lot of people don't like it. And
is it Eddie?
Close.
No.
It's a Six Man.
Oh, Six Man with the Wayne brother.
Yeah, the Wayne brother.
Or is there
now
two
it sounds
of them
worse when there's one. No, there's just one.
Is it Marlon?
It's Marlon, and then it's the other guy from It's a Different World.
Kind of explain the plot to the Six Man. I'm semi-familiar.
So they're like awesome like college players.
Okay.
And then
who? Marlon Wayans.
Marlon Wayans and his brother.
Is the guy from A Different World?
Yeah.
That's what you just said, right? The guy that was Dwayne Wayne.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he like drops dead of a heart attack at a game. So then I think his brother, he's playing and their team's trash. And then while they're playing, his ghost comes and plays as a sixth man. And like when the ball's barely not going to go in, he pushes it in. And...
Now this is after Angels in the Outfield, I believe, because Angels in the Outfield was early 90s. This would be the mid 90s.
This might be super close. Like they might have came out like the same year.
Wow.
Like there's a lot of movies like that where they come out at the same time, but yeah, it's a lot like Angels in the Outfield, except Angels in the Outfield is way better.
Yes.
I love Angels in the Outfield.
But you're saying this is your favorite movie and it's not very good.
It's my favorite basketball movie.
Right.
Just because like I feel like everyone's kind of thought that, like, I don't know. Like, do you know what's a weird thought I have that you might think's weird?
What's that?
Me and my other friend always constantly bring this up. So like in movies, a lot of times, this is how you can tell I'm a piece of shit too. And in movies, a lot of times, like Captain America and Spider-Man, they'll find out like, oh shit, I could like do flips and shit. I should stop everyone from getting raped and murdered, right?
That's a good idea.
Not me, NBA. So when Captain America goes back in time to live out his whole life, the first thing I would have did is gone to any open tryouts for any D-League team. I would have been dunking, slamming it, fucking using my super skills. Just enough so that I wouldn't go crazy so that they could catch me and find out I'm a superhero, but just enough so I dominated. And then I would get like 7 rings and retire.
Wow. What a waste of time and talent.
You wouldn't play ball if you had found out you had Captain America's skills? He can jump like 20 feet.
I'd probably ball a little bit. I'd do 1 year in the NBA and beat everyone's ass and then keep moving. Do it once, you know
Then
what I
save
mean?
people?
I'm not gonna save people. I gotta use my superpowers for good. I gotta build a corporation.
What happened? Brad found out he had superpowers, and
So now he's selling prosthetics.
he has a chain of grocery stores. They're super popular.
I bag all the groceries at once. It's crazy.
What's your favorite basketball movie?
Favorite and best are two different questions for me because I grew up on Space Jam. It was one of my comfort movies as a child. It came out when I was like 5 or 6, I believe. So obviously, growing up in the Chicago area as a Michael Jordan lover and a Looney Tunes lover, I love Looney Tunes. I think they're some of the biggest comedic inspirations for a physical comic like me. So I do love that movie with all my heart. Now the best is a different one because it's also one of my favorite movies. Is White Men Can't Jump. And I think if you're talking about like realistically,
Damn, that is a good one, man.
Like what's like a really good movie? I think that one's there. You got pretty much everything you need. The Woody Harrelson and the oh my god, I'm just blanking on his name right now.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. I think their collaboration and their partnership.
The other Wayne's brother.
Jesus Christ.
That was him.
You know Dwayne Wayne. Yeah, no, Wesley Snipes and then Rosie Perez too. The three of them were just so fucking good in that movie.
I love Rosie Perez.
I'm sure you do, yeah.
Not so much now.
Yeah, well, you know, that happens.
Not because of her attractiveness. She got more annoying as she got older.
Yeah, she did a lot of really good movies in the early 90s.
When she's like all spicy and stuff and like all those, I mean, that sounded racist, but I'm Latino if this is your first time tuning in, so I get a little credit. But
yeah, I can't say stuff like that, so I'm not having
she's a little
an emotional reaction at all.
Like, she's a little spicy in like all the Spike Lee movies and stuff. And
right. Oh yeah, cool. I love Spike Lee.
But she got older. I think she got bitter. Like she has like she talks trash a lot now.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder why. I wonder
why don't nobody put me in their movies no more?
Wow, that's pretty good.
Thank you. Stupid.
You'll be a stupid.
Oh, now offensive.
Oh, okay, canceled. I'm out of here.
See, like you just need to be like one olive tone darker, and you could have said it.
I don't even know if it's about the tone as much as it's about the actual nationality or
tone.
Ethnicity.
What if you're the whitest guy you knew, but you look like Wesley Snipes?
Then I wouldn't be the whitest guy I know.
Boom. Matt logic. Brought to you in part by
shitbags.
Are you tired of shit?
Well, we got a bag for you. It's a shit bag. Put your shit in it. Well, this is good. I can't wait to share this with all 8 of you. Thank you guys for tuning in and taking our shit.
Shit bags.
Yeah, shitbags are good. We'll be back soon with more Court Jester podcasts, with more shit. Maybe more shitbags if they want to keep sponsoring us. Matt, can you do... Well, actually, you did a Rosie Perez one pretty good. So can you get us out of here with a little Cardi B?
This is the same one.
I know.
I'm Cardi B. I'm so tired of everything. I just want to go to sleep. I'm sorry, guys.
All right, bye.
See you next podcast.